Martin Luther King was an American clergyman and activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader in the civil rights movement from 1955 until his death in 1968. King advanced civil rights for African Americans through nonviolent resistance and civil disobedience with tactics honed during his time in the ministry. King delivered his first public address at the age of 14, an event that launched his lifelong commitment to activism. During the march, civil rights leaders presented a set of demands to President John F. Kennedy, leading to the passage of landmark legislation outlawing discrimination based on race, color, religion, or national origin. Under his leadership, the SCLC organized voter registration drives, protests, and demonstrations, and it provided support to activists and organizations across the nation. After earning a doctorate in theology, he became pastor of a church in Montgomery, Alabama, where he organized a successful boycott against a segregated bus system, an event that propelled him to national prominence. In his Nobel acceptance speech, King called for global peace and an end to war. The violent response from state troopers to the marchers galvanized the nation and led to the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which outlawed discriminatory voting practices. The following year, he planned a Poor People's March on Washington to call attention to the needs of impoverished Americans. King was assassinated on April 4, 1968, at the age of 39, while standing on the balcony of a motel room in Memphis, Tennessee. His death sparked riots in more than 100 cities and led to a period of mourning and soul-searching for the nation. In 1963, King played a pivotal role in organizing the March on Washington, which culminated in his delivering his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. In 2014, the Library of Congress selected King's "I Have a Dream" speech as one of the 10 most significant books of the 20th century. And in 2018, Time magazine named King's "I Have a Dream" speech the top 10 greatest moments in its history. In 1964, King co-founded the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, also known as the SCLC, which aimed to improve the social and economic conditions for African Americans in the South. In 1965, King helped organize the Selma to Montgomery marches, a series of 3 demonstrations that advocated for voting rights for African Americans. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and share this video with your friends and family. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about inspiring stories of influential figures. Also in 1965, King became the youngest person to receive the Nobel Peace Prize for his work to end racial segregation in the United States. In the late 1960s, King expanded his focus to include a critique of the Vietnam War and the nation's policy of selective enforcement of anti-war protests. He argued that the billions of dollars spent on the war would be better allocated to addressing poverty and racial injustice at home. This position put King at odds with President Lyndon B. Johnson, who had been a strong ally of the civil rights movement. But the president's successor, Richard Nixon, was hostile to King's activism and accused him of being a communist and a pawn of the Soviet Union. In 1967, King was arrested more than a dozen times during a campaign to improve housing for low-income people in Chicago. In 1983, King was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest honor the United States government can bestow upon a civilian. Today, King is remembered for advancing civil rights for African Americans and promoting a culture of peace and nonviolent resistance around the world. Thank you for watching this video about Martin Luther King.